one thing I want to get into, we talked about this. We did a pre-chat, so just full disclosure, everybody. Uh, the homeless issue is something you have studied, you have connected with. You are in East Oakland, right? You're a resident of East Oakland. Um, I noticed in your bio you said that since 2017 you're committed to public safety improvement after uh, being involved in witnessing a tragic event in your neighborhood. I'm interested if you wanted to get into that. If not, it's all good. But the homeless situation is something I definitely want you to tell the voters about, and what your plan is to try to tackle this. It's a big deal out there in Oakland.
Yeah, and so there's a lot to our homelessness crisis. Really what we have is a humanitarian crisis of epic proportion, I think. And I think, one of the things I've said in my campaign, which sounds a little harsh, is that we need to end the homelessness housing lie,
Interesting.
which is which
Break
is
that down.
basically yeah, which is basically kind of like we've been told, for 10 years we've been approaching homelessness with housing. And housing is, we have a housing crisis in Oakland and California. Really most cities around the world have a housing crisis right now. So
True.
we definitely need to build more housing. We're behind on that. But what's happened is I think we've approached homelessness as like, well, all we need to do is put people in a house and that solves our problem. And we've adopted policies of housing with no requirements. The state adopted a policy called Housing First 10 years ago, and they kind of stripped all requirements from housing. And this is a struggle for us now because it essentially kind of defunded recovery housing.
I see.
So a lot of addiction recovery housing kind of died, or it shrunk down to minimal supply for whatever you could privately fund, because state funding wasn't allowed for any housing with requirements, which with addiction requirement, you have to be kind of like clean and sober, or at least California clean and sober.